Morning guys. Right, so this is the final Christmas preparation video. Probably the easiest one yet, even though I think they've all been pretty easy. So what I'm doing today is I'm going to do my batch of Yorkshire puddings, which are great frozen and then brought out on the day, couple of minutes in the oven, crisp, hot, beautiful. I'm also going to be doing my sprouts with pancetta as well. Again, blanch those, cook them, put them through with the pancetta, and then once they're cooled in the freezer, another job done. And the third one is just something that I made up when I was cooking with some of me two oldest granddaughters, before I wanted them to have heat and stuff like that. So it's literally a put together pud. So I'll bring you down and I'll show you the ingredients. Right, so the first thing I'm going to get going this morning is the Yorkshire puddings. So as normal, I'm going to use 6 large eggs, and whatever equivalent that is in a glass will be the same equivalent of flour and of milk and some salt. I have my Brussels sprouts. I've got some unsmoked pancetta there. I'll probably only use one of these, put the other one away. They've got a long shelf life on them. The date on this, yeah, the 4th of the 1st. So that's got plenty of time on that one. And and a bit of butter and a little bit of salt, depending on how much salt is in this, and a bit of pepper. And this is this put together pud. So this is Lidl's equivalent of Oreos. They're the giant ones. So I've got 2 packs of those and some double cream, and you'll be able to see later on exactly what it is that I do with that. But this morning, before I start work, I'm going to get on with the Yorkshire pudding mix. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get me 6 eggs in here. Let's get them out. I should be getting a little bowl ready. 2 seconds. Here we go, just to put them in. Oh, I'm going to be able to fit 6 in here. Right, come out. Oh, made a mess of that. Still no shell in though. Yeah, I'll be able to get the 6 in here. One more. Right, so that's just to the top, so that is ½ pint. I'm just going to quickly wipe my hands. That'll go into the washing machine, don't worry. So I'm going to get more of those out of the way. So we will get the eggs in there. Equivalent of milk. As you know, I have to use this milk, and I don't know if there's enough in this one. And there certainly isn't. If you give us 2 seconds, guys, I'll just go and get the other milk. Right, so here's the other milk. Oops. So that much, just under there. Go straight in. And then what I'll do is quickly rinse this out. I'm going to leave this while I'm over here. And just quickly dry that off a bit. What I want to do now is I want to pop in my salt, just about a teaspoon of salt. The reason why I like to put that in now is because it breaks down the egg whites a little bit, which makes it easier to actually whisk up. Just get them eggs all broken up there. There we go. All done nicely. Then we'll get on to the plain flour. Exactly the same yet again. I'm just going to use this spoon because if I'm not, I'll get it everywhere. which I'm already doing. Give it a shake about. A little bit more, I would say. Don't want to pack it in. There we go. And then straight in. The flour. A little bit damp in there. Give this a mix. Oops. I'm going to put the lid on that just in case it splashes up. I don't want bits into my flour. And if you find it difficult to get the lumps out, just leave it. I'm going to leave that for about 3 or 4 minutes, come back and it'll start to absorb and be so much easier to actually whisk in. Right, I've just left that for a couple of minutes there, just while I tidied up and put bits and pieces away. And as you can see, it's much easier. You don't have to have it properly smooth because you will be whisking it again just before you put it in there. But as you can see, if you touch your Yorkshire pudding, I've got clean hands, and just do that. If it feels a little bit like single cream between your fingers, you know you've got it about right. So, a quick whisk. I'm just getting my jug. Get that into the jug, into the fridge, and we'll cook them all later on. Like I say, don't worry about any lumps, they'll all come out. Once the flour starts to absorb the liquid, you might find that it'll get thicker as well. If it gets thicker, I'll just put a splash of water in. But for now, that's done. That'll go into the fridge until I'm ready to use it. So I'm just about to start work. I'm going to finish all of the rest of it after work. So we'll see you later. Have a good day. Right, so I've set my oven on to try to start warming that up for the Yorkshire puddings, and I'm just going to deal with the sprouts. So all I do is take off that bit at the end, and put that down a second so you can see, any outer leaves that aren't quite nice. I don't bother putting a cross in the bottom. I used to because it's what my nana used to do, but then realise it's not really necessary. So this one's a little bit of a... So just if any that are really big, I will cut them in half. So I'm just going to carry on and do the rest of these. Right, so next what I'm going to do is I'm going to start dry frying the pancetta. I've done all of the sprouts and I've got the kettle on there, and I'm going to boil them for just 3 minutes. Right, get them all out. So all I'm going to do is I've turned it on high just to get it warm, and then I'm going to turn it down and just let it slowly fry away until we get them nice and crisp. You can hear them just starting to sizzle there. Right, so kettle's just about boiled. I'm just going to cover these, bring them up the boil and boil them for just 3 minutes. So then they're going to be finished off on Christmas Day. I'm not going to put any salt into the water because there'll be quite a bit of salt in the pancetta. I'm not going to get the pancetta too crispy because again we'll be finishing this off on Christmas Day. So I'm just going to let that do for 3 minutes, as soon as it's virtually back up to the boil now anyway. 3 minutes total, and then we'll come back and add them together. Right, so while the sprouts are done, I've brought me Yorkshire pudding mix out of the fridge, and I'm just going to use a little bit of duck fat to do the Yorkshire puddings in. Say about half a teaspoon in each one. Give it a lovely flavour. Just put them all in there. Some might have a bit more in, some might have a bit less in. I'm not that bothered. I just want to make sure that they've all got some in. Then I've got the oven preheated to 210. This is going to go in for 10 minutes on its own. Get really lovely and hot before we put the Yorkshire puddings in. Right, so quickly put the sink, do that. Right, I'm going to get this in the oven to start preheating. Right, so the Yorkshire pudding mix itself, if you see, it's got like a little bit of a foam on the top. And what we'll do is because it's been in the fridge all day, so it has gone very thick, as you can see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a splash of cold water. Touch it again to have a little feel of it. Yeah, that's all it needed, was a little splash of water. So now that's ready to go into the Yorkshire pudding tin as soon as it's up to temperature. Right, so we're just on the last minute of the sprouts. I've just got this, like I say, I'm not making this crispy this time. I'm just waiting for the buzzer to go off. Once that does, then we'll get the sprouts straight into here. A little bit of water as well, doesn't make any difference. I want them to get the taste of the bacon. I'll just turn that up a little bit, I'll turn it back down. Oh, there it is. Turn them off. Look how gorgeously green these look, and that's because they haven't been boiled to death. I am going to put these into a tub and freeze them, just like I have done with everything else. But these will be defrosted the night before and just quickly warmed through in a pan, just with everything in here. Use a little bit extra butter. Cover them all. Yep, that's them all. Now you can use chestnuts, we're not keen on them, so that's one of the reasons why I don't like to use chestnuts. I'm going to put a little bit of pepper in, just because I can. I've got the wrong pepper again. I wanted coarse ground, and I've just seen ground black pepper, and I've come back and it's really fine. Oh, lost a bit. Right, so I'm just going to have a little taste of that. Yeah, don't need any salt in. Right, that's them turned off. Once they're cool, they'll go into a tub and straight into the freezer for Christmas Day. Right, so the tray's had 10 minutes. I'm just going to get them out. It will be hot. As you can see, it's been spitting a little bit. Right, and then we'll get straight in with my Yorkshire pudding mix. And that's what you want it here. Right, there's going to be 8 of us on Christmas Day. So 12 is probably about perfect. There'll be a couple that'll have 2. A bit too much in some, but hey ho, it's not going to be the end of the world. the oven gloves, put them back up and get these straight back in the oven. Keep the door shut for about 35 minutes. Right, so I'll set a timer for them for 35 minutes and then we'll come back to you. Right, so there's the alarm for the Yorkshire puddings. They've had 35 minutes. Let's have a little look at them. Wow. Wow. Look at those beauties there. As you can see, beautiful. And these have cooled down a little bit now, so I've put them in the tub. Once they're fully cooled, I'll put the lid on, and then them will go in the freezer. Once these are cold, they'll go into a bag straight in the freezer, and that is the last. Apart from cooking everything on Christmas Day, I don't have to prepare anything at all. So let's get on to the last one. Right, now out of today, this is probably going to be my favourite. So I've just lined a sheet pan there. Just whatever size you've got, doesn't make any difference the dimensions. And I have my food processor. Now remember when the grandkids, the daughters were little and they really wanted to bake. Well, Nana really wanted to, but I was a little bit scared of letting them next to heat and stuff like that. So I sort of came up with this. I'm not saying it was purely my idea. I've probably seen it somewhere else in the past. I'm not quite sure. Oh, I want that to go on the floor. Well, it doesn't matter if it does, like. And the second lot of biscuits. Straight in there. Lid. What have I done with it? There it is. Lid on. And then just go for it. Now, I wasn't sure, I've done this with Oreos before, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do with the cheap ones, but obviously not all of them are broken down. Just going to keep going with that. If I need to melt some butter and put some in, I will do. Oh, still bits and pieces in there. Obviously I didn't let the grandchildren put their fingers in there. I'm just going to break that up just a little bit. Quick look and see if there's any more. A few more bits and pieces, so I'm just going to keep going on this until it's done. Right, so that's had a little bit. I did put about a tablespoon of butter in there. Oops. And I think it was because I bought the giant Oreos, which didn't have enough cream in the middle. So, just a matter of taking these out of here. For that. All your bits from in your food processor. Oh, there we go. I knew there was more in there. Right. What you do is press this in. flatten it right out. Try and get as even as you possibly can. Oops, dropped a bit. Yeah, if you are going to try this, guys, just use ordinary Oreos or the Aldi equivalent, because they didn't have any of the smaller packets and littles. Every time I've made this before, I've never ever had to put a little bit of butter in, because there's enough of the white filling that would actually hold it all together. So if this becomes a disaster, it becomes a disaster. You'll see it either way, which will be annoying because I've done this on numerous occasions. Right. I don't think it's going to work, you know, guys. I really don't think it's going to work. I'm going to pop this in the fridge for about 10 minutes and I'm just going to... Oh, sorry, you can't even see that. I had it further up. Right, so what I've done is I've pressed it into here. But it's a bit too crumbly, I think. Normally it's sticking together a bit like a cheesecake base. But I'll put it in the fridge and I'll whisk up some cream, and if nothing else we'll have chocolate flavoured cream. Right, so put this in the fridge for about 10 minutes. Come back to you once I've whipped the cream up. Right, so I've got the cream in there, and all I'm going to do is put in a level tablespoon of icing sugar. I'm not going to put any vanilla in because there's loads of flavour in that base if this actually works. But I'm going to whip this up until it's nice and thick, and then we'll get going. Right, so this has been in the fridge for about 15 minutes. Really don't think it's going to work, guys, because if you look at that, it's very crumbly. When I've done this before, it's been solid. But let's give it a go. And I've got the whipped cream there. If it doesn't work this time, I'll do it again because I know it works. And if it doesn't work this time, it's because Lidl only had the giant Oreos in. So, that's the cream. Just get rid of that. Let's spread this over. There, you see how it's just picking it up. Might be alright underneath, but I'm not holding out much hope at all. But everybody has disasters in the kitchen. Get over. Right. Still tastes delicious even if it doesn't work out. But like I say, if it doesn't work out this time, I will do it again. It's just pulling it up. There we go. I'm just going to get that here. I think I've just flicked it all over my kitchen, so I've got some cleaning up to do. Right, I'm just making it worse, to be honest. Right. So, what you're supposed to be able to do now is roll it up. That's not going to work, I don't think. Is roll it up like a Swiss roll. Nah. Definitely not working, but I will get it to the end. Move that along just a little bit. wrap it up. Get it in the fridge, and I'll let you have a look tomorrow. But look at the state of that. Right, so I'm just going to have to quickly wash my hands because I can't even turn the camera off. But we'll have a look at it tomorrow. Can't see it being any different to what it is now. But like I say, we all have disasters in the kitchen, so if it doesn't work, it didn't work. But I know it does work, which is frustrating. So we'll see you again, guys. So that is this monstrosity done. The last of the prep, the Yorkshire puddings are done. The sprouts with pancetta are done. Just everything needs finishing off on Christmas Day. I cooked my goose on the day. It is a frozen one. Got it from Lidl's. We don't get anything fancy. I don't order a one in. Can't afford to do all of that. So if you see them in Lidl's and you fancy giving it a go, just give it a go. Okay, so it's just a big chicken. The same as a duck, same as a chicken, same as a turkey. So anyway, I'm going to pop this in the fridge and probably have a sleepless night. See you later, guys. Bye. Bonus shot. Here's me trying to put it out, to wrap it up, to put it in the fridge with a bit more baking paper. This is not going to work. It's pointless coming back tomorrow. So I think it'll just be a case of digging in there with a spoon for now. But we will come back to this one. I do promise you. Right, that's it. All done, guys. See you later. Bye.